Picture this: a private island in the Caribbean, a fleet of private jets, and a guest list that reads like a who's who of the global elite: presidents, princes, billionaires, and Hollywood stars. But this wasn't just a luxury playground. It was a hunting ground, a place where young girls, some as young as 14, were lured, abused, and passed around like commodities. For decades, one man operated in the shadows of power, protected, untouchable, until he wasn't. His name was Jeffrey Epstein. And today, in 2026, with millions of pages of newly released files still making headlines, we're diving deep into the most disturbing scandal of our time. This is the full story of Jeffrey Epstein, the rise, the crimes, the fall, and the questions that still haunt us all. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's uncover the truth. Jeffrey Edward Epstein was born on January 20th, 1953, in Brooklyn, New York, to a middle-class Jewish family. His father worked for the New York City Parks Department. His mother was a school aide. Nothing about his childhood screamed future master of the universe. He attended Lafayette High School, where he was a decent student but no prodigy. He dropped out of Cooper Union and then NYU without earning a degree. No Ivy League, no fancy credentials. Yet by his mid-20s, Epstein was teaching physics and math at the elite Dalton School in Manhattan, one of the most prestigious private schools in America. How? He had no teaching license, no college degree, but he was charming, smart, and knew how to network. At Dalton, he caught the eye of a parent, Alan Greenberg, the CEO of Bear Stearns, one of Wall Street's biggest investment banks. Epstein didn't just get a job at Bear Stearns, he skyrocketed. Within years, he was a limited partner, making serious money. But in 1981, he left abruptly. Rumors swirled about irregularities, but nothing was ever proven. Epstein then launched his own firm, Intercontinental Assets Group, later J. Epstein and Company. He positioned himself as a financial fixer for the ultra-wealthy, the kind of guy who could make billions appear and disappear. His big break: meeting Les Wexner, the billionaire founder of L Brands and Victoria's Secret. By the mid-1980s, Epstein was managing Wexner's fortune. He got power of attorney. He even bought properties in Wexner's name. Their relationship was so close that many wondered if Epstein was more than just a money manager. By the 1990s, Epstein was living like a king. A $77 million Manhattan townhouse, a Palm Beach mansion, a New Mexico ranch, a private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands called Little St. James, soon to be infamous as Pedophile Island, and a 727 jet dubbed the Lolita Express. How did a college dropout amass this kind of wealth? Official story: high-stakes finance for billionaires. But whispers said otherwise: money laundering, blackmail, intelligence connections. Even today, with the 2026 document dumps, the source of his fortune remains murky. Epstein didn't just collect money. He collected people and girls. His operation was a sophisticated pyramid scheme of exploitation. Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of media mogul Robert Maxwell, became his right-hand woman and alleged procurer. She recruited vulnerable teens, often promising modeling gigs, massage work, or education opportunities. The pattern was always the same. A girl would be brought to Epstein's mansion for a massage. It started innocent. Then it escalated. Epstein would pay them $200 to $300. Then he'd ask them to bring friends. More girls, more money. Many were underage. By 2005, Palm Beach police were onto him. A 14-year-old girl's parents reported that she'd been molested during a massage at his home. Detectives uncovered dozens more victims, some as young as 13. The island was the crown jewel. Little St. James, 70 acres of paradise. A mansion, guest villas, a dock for yachts, and that bizarre blue and white striped temple on the hill. What happened there? Victims described massages turning into group abuse. Hidden cameras everywhere. Powerful men flying in on the Lolita Express. Flight logs show Bill Clinton flew on Epstein's plane at least 26 times, though he claims never to the island. Donald Trump flew once in the 90s. Prince Andrew was a regular. Bill Gates, Leon Black, Ehud Barak. The list goes on. Epstein's Black Book, seized by authorities, contained over 1,500 contacts, from Hollywood A-listers to tech titans to heads of state. And the parties? Non-stop. Young girls in bikinis serving drinks. Orgy Island, some called it. But it wasn't just fun and games. According to court documents, Epstein and Maxwell ran a sex trafficking ring. Girls were flown across the country and internationally, paid to recruit more, trapped in a web of dependency and fear. One victim, Virginia Jeffrey, said she was recruited at age 16 while working at Mar-a-Lago. She claimed she was trafficked to Prince Andrew 3 times. Andrew settled a lawsuit with her for millions, without admitting guilt. Another, Annie Farmer, was 16 when Epstein and Maxwell abused her at his New Mexico ranch. She later testified against Maxwell. Hundreds of girls, decades of abuse, all while Epstein walked free among the elite. In 2005, the FBI got involved. They identified over 30 victims. Epstein faced potential life in prison. But then, something happened. U.S. Attorney Alexander Acosta, later Trump's labor secretary, cut a deal. In 2008, Epstein pleaded guilty to just 2 state charges, procuring a minor for prostitution. He got 18 months, served 13. With work release, he could leave jail 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. The feds? They agreed not to prosecute anyone else, including Maxwell. It was called the sweetheart deal for a reason. Victims weren't even consulted. When they found out, they sued and won changes to the agreement years later. Why the leniency? Acosta later said he was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to back off. Was it Mossad? CIA? Blackmail material? The 2026 files haven't fully answered that, but they show how deep the protection went. Epstein was out by 2009, back to business, back to the island, back to the girls. Everything changed in 2018. The Miami Herald published Julie K. Brown's explosive series exposing the 2008 deal. Public outrage exploded. On July 6, 2019, Epstein was arrested at Teterboro Airport stepping off his jet. Federal charges, sex trafficking of minors. Conspiracy. The indictment detailed a decade-long operation. Dozens of victims. A vast network. He was denied bail, locked in the Metropolitan Correctional Center. Then, on August 10, 2019, just over a month later, he was found dead in his cell. Official cause, suicide by hanging. But the circumstances screamed foul play. Broken neck bones more consistent with strangulation. Guards asleep on the job. Cameras malfunctioning. His cellmate transferred out hours earlier. No suicide watch despite a prior attempt. Epstein didn't kill himself, became a global meme. And for good reason. Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested in 2020. Convicted in 2021 on sex trafficking charges. Sentenced to 20 years. She's still appealing, and in 2026, she's reportedly seeking clemency. Then came the document dumps. In early 2024, court files from Jeffrey's lawsuit against Maxwell named names. But the real bombshell? 2026, under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, pushed through by Trump in late 2025, the DOJ released over 3.5 million pages, images, and videos in January 2026. More are coming. What did they reveal? Mentions of Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Howard Lutnick, Steve Bannon, even Narendra Modi associates. Trump appears in FBI tips, but no new evidence of wrongdoing. Clinton too. Prince Andrew's troubles deepened, but massive redactions remain. Congressman Ro Khanna publicly named 6 powerful men whose identities were hidden, including billionaire Les Wexner. The DOJ admitted some errors. No full client list, no smoking gun videos of elites, but enough to keep the fire burning. Victims are still fighting. Some, like Virginia Jeffrey, have passed. She died by suicide in 2025. Others continue to sue the estate. So what is the real story of Jeffrey Epstein? A lone predator who got lucky? Or a protected asset in a much larger game? The files keep coming. The questions remain. Did he kill himself? Who protected him for so long? And how many more names are still buried? The powerful want this story to die, but we won't let it. If this video opened your eyes, smash that like button. Comment below, who do you think was really behind Epstein? And subscribe for more deep dives into the stories they don't want told. Thanks for watching. Stay vigilant.